The month of October every year is set aside for creating awareness about dyslexia. It is estimated that 1 out of 10 people have dyslexia, but a lack of awareness in this part of the world has made its understanding and management difficult. In this special report, News Central's Akede speaks to experts about the condition.
While growing up, I figured that I had certain challenges, cognitive challenges, with spelling, with writing, and with reading. And by the time I got to the university, and I found out that I wasn't the only one having these challenges. Even though I knew I was smart, I knew there was something wrong. Only till my adult years did I realize that there actually was a name for this condition. Dyslexia is one of the most common learning disabilities that affects people. Some other learning disabilities include attention deficit hyperactive disorder, ADHD, dyscalculia, dysgraphia, amongst others.
Okay, dyslexia occurs where you have difficulty with learning to read, write, and spell. But it's not just that, it also comes with it huge strengths. So you find a dyslexic person also having strengths in creative thinking, 3D thinking, outside the box thinking, problem solving. So it's like a mixed bag. You have some difficulty and some strength, but it's language related. So it's difficulty in a specific area with reading, writing, spelling, but also strengths in other areas.
There are certain signs that could indicate that a child may have dyslexia, but in this part of the world, because of the lack of awareness, it is usually not detected. If anything, the child is seen as dull or as a slow learner.
Other classmates that I had could understand what was being taught, but for some reason I could not understand it. And at some point it was put in my head that I was lazy or dumb or stupid. And as children, you don't have filters, so you take in whatever you're being given. So at some point, I think I accepted that and just ran with it. So when something new is being taught, I'm like, not again. So I'm just like, just finish and leave because I'm still not going to get it.
So you find a child not speaking early. Because dyslexia affects language processing, you might find that a child has delayed speech. Now, dyslexia is not the only reason why you could have delayed speech, but it's one of the reasons. So the child is 2 going on 3 and is still, not speaking or not speaking clearly. They also have difficulty with remembering what they have learned. But once you begin the reading process itself, then you find that the reading is slow, it's choppy, it's not clear, they have poor fluency, and this goes on into poor comprehension. So when you're in secondary school and nothing is done, then it becomes more compounded. So you then have a situation where the child's handwriting is really poor, he's runs away from anything that has to do with reading. He definitely has poor spelling. Poor spelling is something that really stays with dyslexics for a long time. They also have wonderful ideas, but then they have difficulty putting them down on paper.
Dyslexia is a condition that exists in both children and adults. And as it can be identified amongst children in the classroom, it can also be identified among adults in the workplace.
An individual might notice or other people might notice a difficulty with managing long volumes of text, perhaps having to go through a lot of material and make sense of it to distill what is key information in what they're reading. They might have difficulty expressing their ideas clearly. They might be very good, but to communicate that in a way that other people can understand and to find the words that they can capture the essence of what they're trying to communicate can be difficult because vocabulary might be limited. Apart from that, I think the fear of not being a fluent speaker, sometimes when you're in managerial level, in fact, all the time, you are in a situation where you have to present information to other people to justify the decisions that you make. And having a fear that the words are going to be caught in your mouth can really make you look incompetent.
However, dyslexia is not a death sentence, and dyslexics are not persons with disabilities. Dyslexics actually possess special abilities, and if well harnessed, they are always valuable wherever they find themselves.
So it's been shown that dyslexias are significantly more creative than people who don't have dyslexia. They're really good at generating ideas very creative. Their brains can connect dots very easily. So if something seems has happened in one subsidiary, for example, they might be able to see how it applies to this one superly easily and quickly. They're good at looking at statistics that are currently in play, data, and using that to forecast what might be. Very helpful for strategy, shaping a vision and direction for an organization, shaping how we tackle problems that might arise.
Just as each individual possesses unique fingerprints, so are dyslexics unique in identifying their challenges and in developing mechanisms to help them cope. Thus, the theme for this year's Awareness Month, Uniquely You. Several dyslexics have gone on to live successful lives and have successful careers, but most of the known ones are from the Western countries. The hope is that with adequate awareness and the right training for parents and teachers, the same will be said for dyslexics in Nigeria and across Africa. Akede, reporting for News Central.